Hello, hello, everybody. How y'all doing tonight? This is Lenika Scott, Executive Ambassador in Total Life Changes, also known as the Millionaire Mom. And on tonight, of the close of our amazing Women's Summit, I bring to you two powerhouses. And on tonight, it's going to be a little different. You may want to, go and grab some Kleenex or tissues and just partake in everything that's going to be coming from them, because tonight we're talking about being able to build in the midst of adversity in life. Make no mistakes about it. No matter who you are, what level you will achieve, you will face challenges and adversities, but it's how you deal with those challenges, how you deal with the blows, how you deal with the storms that may rage, how you overcome and bounce back and are resilient in the midst of that will teach not only you, but other people. And it also gives other people hope that they can too succumb. So what we're going to do right now, I'm just going to give it probably about 10 to 20 seconds just to allow those that are tuning in live to come on and get on live. And then I'm going to immediately go into introducing you all to these incredible women. So again, I'm going to give it about 10 to 20 seconds and we will be right back and we'll go right on ahead. I'm just going to verify that we are live. All right, so who do we have on tonight? Again, I shared we had two powerhouses closing out the summit, right? And the first that I'm going to introduce to you and just share some of the things that she's been able to accomplish, where you all will get to know just a little bit more about her on tonight. Her name is Bonita Lee McLean, and she is an ambassador here in Total Life Changes. She didn't have the best start in life. She grew up in North Philly. From happy hood rich child to bringing shame to her parents, community, and church by becoming a statistic at 15 years young, Black, low income, diploma-less, female, and pregnant with little or no prospects. She fought back to make success a part of her life and become a shining light amid the darkness for others who face the same challenges as she did. Bonita is now the author of the remarkable book, 16 Years Apart and Teen Mom to Charity Queen. A successful record-breaking entrepreneur, philanthropist, a charity provider who has changed the lives of thousands of people. Her charitable organization, 16 Years Apart, helps young women and their families to follow their dreams no matter what obstacles are placed in their way. It teaches on abstinence and has a vision to ensure that teenage mothers and fathers can still follow their dreams and have a bright future. She inspires and motivates others in spite of her painful and brutal experience that you are not a lost cause, and you're not a lost cause, and you can succeed where you always imagined you would fail. She is a $1 million earner in Total Life Changes, and it is such a pleasure and privilege that I've had the time to even work with her myself personally here in our organization. She's under the leadership of Miss Denise Lee, who is also one of our top $1 million income earners. I've seen her work ethic and I've seen her strive, but most importantly, I've seen her love and her heart for people. Thank you so much for Miss Bonita McLean being a part of the last night of our Women's Summit. now on over to Miss Dr. Kimberly Edwards, who is a global director here in Total Life Changes. Dr. Kimberly have earned over 7 figures total in the direct sales network marketing industry. She has helped several individuals earn 6 figures. She is a business coach, helping individuals create business plans in 90-day increments. She has helped build teams all over, even over into 20,000 of people. She received the President's Lifetime Achievement Award. She is the author of Discover the Incredible You. She is a certified speaker through Inspired to Speak speaking camp. In Total Life Changes, Dr. Kimberly has graced the stage, I believe, at our last conference, having earned over $500,000. She is a fighter, and you're going to hear that tonight, and you're going to see someone that God has graced with tenacity, but also, as I shared even before, the ability to bounce back, but also to be able to inspire others. It's particularly women that in the midst of adversity, trials, the storms of life, you can persevere, and that God will give you the grace to do so. And on this night, they are sharing, they're intimate. They're taking you behind the scenes to some very intimate things, because one of the things that you must realize and understand, that leadership in the game of network marketing, they face different adversities, attacks, and blows. But it is the best leaders that understand that they can still navigate through those areas and be able to come out on top, still bringing hope to other people. They are the best. And you're going to hear from two of the best. And that's why I've chosen them on this night. As I was thinking about how we would even close out this Women's Summit, I wanted this night to be a little different, even a little bit more intimate, because you all have to understand that a lot of times we see leaders, and now I can even speak for all of the women that have even come up and shared different strategies, from Tanya Joyner-Scott to Twyla Portis on Monday night, and then from Janella Simpson to Pamela Davis on Tuesday night. On Wednesday night, we had Stanisha Graham and Miss Candice Bird Davis. And then on last night, we had Miss Denise Lee and Miss Portia Wilkins. I can attest even to myself that many of us, we suffer different things behind the scenes. And it is sometimes where we have to even be that much more vulnerable to let even our Salesforce team of people in our organization that we too hurt. We bleed, we go through, and we're human, but it is again how we go through to get to that provide that hope. And so that's why I set tonight the way that I did, with asking God to help me, to show me who need to be on this night. And their names came so crystal clear. So I bring before you at first, Miss Bonita McLean. Bonita, you can go ahead and take it away.
Well, thank you so much, Lenika, for just having me on this, having me a part of this. I'm just so excited because I know what has happened to me, not only the adversity that I've been through while building this organization, while building my business with Total Life Changes. It has happened to me because it made me stronger. And I just thank God for every lesson. Because one thing I know about lessons, that you have to learn from them before you can move forward. And so I'm just happy to be on here. I'm happy to be able to share. And, I'm so thankful to have you as amazing leadership. And I'm very grateful to be sharing this with Dr. Kim, because her story is just amazing. And I'm looking so forward to hearing you talk as well, Dr. Kim. So I'm just going to, if you don't mind, Lenika, am I going to just go into some of the things that I've been able to overcome, and some of the things I've been through? Well, I decided to share a story. And this story is not going to take long. It's very short. It is easy for me to get through it. At one time, I couldn't get through it because I kept crying at one time, because I couldn't understand why it happened to me. I couldn't understand it. When I started building Total Life Changes, it was amazing. I started to have people watch me, and then some of my friends who said no to the business, then they said yes. And I was excited when some of my friends that we built other businesses together before, and they came over to Total Life Changes to build with me, and because I felt that they believed in me. This one particular time, what happened was I was building this business with a group of friends. I felt like they were friends, right? Maybe they were friends at that point in my life. I was building my business and we were building strong. I mean, we had targets for each person. My foundation with my organization was amazing. I remember hitting $1 million with Total Life Changes in less than a year. I remember, my husband and I, we were traveling the world. A couple of my friends and I, we were always together. We were building our business together from state to state to state here in the United States. And at this particular moment, what happened was right under my nose, one of my friends who I thought was my friend at the time, under my nose, she was plotting on my organization. She was plotting, to, enroll into another company and take my whole organization right under my nose. And it's so crazy because this person and I, our children spent the night with each other. We were friends before Total Life Changes. And I had no idea, sometimes you can get you can get a clue, right? I didn't even have a clue. Okay. And what happened was I got a phone call from someone else in my organization, and they said, well, Benita, such and such told me not to tell you, but they just tried to enroll me into another business. And I know that's your friend. And I really did not believe the person because I had so much trust in my friend. We built the business and, we were building a business together. We had targets. We had goals that we set together. And I want to say a week later, more than half of my organization was gone. And when I say more than half of my organization, not just other people enrolled. These are people that I personally sponsored. So I don't know if you ever built an organization before, but when you sponsor people and they're making money, you're helping the people that you personally sponsor. So I took a major, major, major hit, but I wasn't prepared. I felt like I had built this strong house and out of nowhere, a bomb just came in and blew it up. And I didn't understand it. Her and I, we were at an event together, and the entire time we drove together, we were talking, we were laughing, we were singing gospel songs. And when we were at that event, she had already sponsored more than half of the people that were in the room, and they were in my organization, and I had no idea. When I found out exactly what happened, behind my back, she was going to my leaders, telling them things about me that wasn't true, telling them things about Total Life Changes, this incredible company, the things that were not true, to manipulate them to follow her. And it worked. It worked. I was hurt. More than ever before, I was really embarrassed because everyone in Total Life Changes, me being a leader with TLC, I was, in the light, and everyone was seeing what was happening. But when people saw not only that she went over there, but they said, isn't that Benita's best friend? Said, well, what happened between them two? So it was the questions, and it was, well, why would she leave Benita? And it was, well, what happened between them two? And nothing happened. It was just the entire time, it was, she was plotting and waiting for her opportunity to, to do what she did. I was hurt. And I think I was hurt is because the type of person I am, I would have never done that. And I truly believe that God had to take me through that test was because he wanted to make sure that I can get through that before I went to the next level in my life. And it was hard for me to get past it. It's because I'm a people's person. If you know anything about me, I love people. I love being around people. Yes. I love being around my family. My team is my family. And when that happened, I said to God, I said, well, I would have never done it to anyone. Why would you allow that to happen to me?
Yeah.
So I really feel that there were many lessons that I got from that. And one of the lessons that I've gotten from it was that you have to understand that when you start a business with someone, don't expect to finish with them. Another thing that another thing that that I've learned was, if you can't get past things, that means that you haven't learned the lesson.
That's
That means
good.
that if you don't learn the lesson, then how can you get to the next level? You know, right after that situation had happened, my husband and I, we were actually buying a home, and it all happened at the same time. And once I started to release it, and I asked God, I said, you know what? I wish her well, because I could have hated her. I could have went on Facebook. I could have bashed her. I could have
Yep.
said, you were my friend. You're not a friend. I didn't do any of those things. I wished her well. And I want to say a couple weeks later, I was able to walk into my dream home, you know, and I know that God wanted to make sure that my home, that I was ready for. I mean, I moved into an 8,000 square foot home where all of my children have their own bathrooms, where we don't have to go to the movies because we have our own movie theater, you know, where, you know, I can entertain 150 people all at one time, where, you know, and I know that if I didn't get past that, then I would have probably never walked into this home. And so I just want to let people know that if the distraction, if your journey does not have this, if your journey doesn't have distractions, then that means you're probably not going anywhere. If your journey is a struggle, then that means that the destination is very rewarding. So if you're having struggles right now, or something has happened to you, then just know that the destination is very rewarding. And the last thing that I'm gonna say about that story, because I just want to move forward, is that I shared that story with you guys because I've been through a lot. I mean, building an organization, making $1 million is not easy. But I shared that story is because most people can relate to me. Most of you, most people that are building a business, be honest with you, the reason why you're not moving as fast as you can move, the reason why you're not even probably moving at all, is because someone has hurt you. Someone has hurt you. Someone might not have believed in what you're doing. Someone might have told you no because they don't want to try your products. Someone has hurt your feelings, and that's why you can't move forward. But I want to tell you right now that you need to make sure that your why makes you cry. Because if your why doesn't make you cry, then your why is not strong enough. When I felt like that, when that person hurt me like that, I started to think about my why, on why I was doing my business, and that's what picked me up. So you guys just know that things will happen, and you have to move forward. I'm gonna give it right back to you, Lenika, because I can go on and on and on about that situation.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing. And one thing that I wanted to share before we bring Dr. Kimberly up is, you know, every great leader, whether you want to think that they do or not, you know, they may not share it publicly or, you know, or even privately, but they're going to face betrayal. They're going to face a lot of different adversities. And one of the things that I've come to discover, because even as I was listening to Bonita sharing, and I pray that this helps someone tonight as she shared, and then she also gave some life lessons in it, is that, you know, a lot of times people, what they do to you is not none of your business, although it affect you, right? And what I want somebody to really understand too, is that you still have got to move forward in it and develop tough skin. I think we even talked about tough skin. And a lot of times we go through things not just for the sake of nothing, but there's purpose in it. And the way that we grow through it generally will make us more wiser to know what to do the next time. Or it could be that stepping stone to us going higher, where there's a season of testing and God is like, let me see, how are you still gonna love like you did? And that's hard, you know, with someone that you love, you trusted, they were your friend, they were in your house, you helped to build an organization. I know it personally because I saw the numbers and what you had even done. But then to say, you know what, I've got to bless her, I've got to release her. And so leaders learn how to forgive, right? Leaders learn how to forgive. And a lot of times, I believe too personally, is that that's what keep a lot of people stuck. And Bonita too. Bonita didn't stay in that mode where she just wallowed in the hurt. She wallowed in the betrayal. She wallowed in the pain, but she kept going because she knew that she had to continue with the vision that was set before her. And if we would learn to, in the midst of trials, struggles, adversity, wilderness moments, pit moments, we'll still, when we're not feeling good, maybe we're going through things in our body, our head is aching, things going on in our heart, physical pain, emotional pain, whatever, trauma. But if you can, I'm gonna make it a little personal, if you can stay focused at the task at hand, why is it that I started this business anyway? Right? There are other people that I need to now divert my attention to, because all of this, if I continue to focus on all of this, things will begin to dry up. And so I just wanted to encourage you, even for those of you who are listening to her story and you say, wow, I don't know if I would have been able to make it out of that. I don't know if I would have been able to forgive. You've got to learn how to, if you're going to continue moving and continue to going, because there's always greater on the other side. It's always, and I firmly believe that God He always reward those that do the best that they know how to do, even in the midst of being attacked, being on that side where they're receiving the betrayal, being on that side when maybe things are coming up against them beyond even their span of control. God always rewards. So just be encouraged with that. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm quite sure we're going to hear from you. All right, Dr. Kim, I want you to come on up and just share, with the audience what God has placed in your heart to share.
Absolutely. Can you hear me?
Yep, we got you loud and clear.
Excellent. Well, first of all, I want to give it back to you. Thank you so much for, being obedient to God and answering to this and actually forming this summit, because it's touched so many people's lives, including mine, all this week. I'm fired up and pumped and really ready to work my business and utilize all the information that we received this week. So thank you so much for pulling this together and trusting me to be a part of this. And thank you, Bonita, for allowing me to be side by side with you. I love you as well. And I'm so grateful and honored to share this platform with you. And so tonight, we have such amazing leadership, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm so excited about sharing tonight because I know it's not about me. And from the beginning, I knew it wasn't about me. And I'll share with you about my story, my breast cancer journey, and I'm still going on my journey right now. But the roughest part is over, praise God. And I'll share with you guys that, everything was going great for me. In June, we went to the top retailers retreat in Mexico, and we had a blast. While I was there, I noticed something was going on with my left breast because I had breast cancer, but I didn't know at that moment, but I knew something was going on, but I kind of ignored it. I went home, didn't think anything else about it. And then we got ready for our national event in July. I went to that, and just excited about picking up that $500,000 ring. And it was just everything could go right. And I still, at that time, I noticed something was going on and I just kind of ignored it again. A lot of times we see things going on in our bodies. We get so caught up into the things that we're doing every day that we forget about really paying attention to what's going on. We ignore it and we'll put it off and put it off. And that's exactly what I did. And it was around the first or second week in August. I was getting my baby girl ready for college, going and buying things that she needed, preparing her for her freshman year. And one night I had a sharp pain across my chest. And I knew it wasn't a heart attack because it was so sharp. It wasn't like right at my heart. It was just really like the nerves of it. And so I ignored that kinda. I went on and went to bed, but then I started having them while I was sleeping. And the pain was so bad, I couldn't sleep on my left side. So that morning I woke up and I shared with my husband, something's going on. Something's going on with me. And I had already told him the last 2 times. So of course, Darnell, being the husband that he was like, you know, you need to go get checked. You're ignoring yourself and something's going on. You need to go get checked. So the week before my daughter went to school, I went to see my regular physician. She did an exam and she said, definitely something abnormal is going on. So I'm sitting here, I'm about to approach my 50th birthday. We were getting ready to go to Aruba to celebrate. And I looked at my doctor and I said, you think anything is seriously wrong? She said, yes, it's definitely something seriously wrong. I'm sending you to the cancer center for a mammogram. And I said, oh my God, you know, first time you hear the word cancer, most time, you know, the flesh will kick in and you start to think, oh my God, I got cancer. And you think about all the things that reflect in your mind is, you know, all the people around you that you loved and cared for that battled cancer, survived cancer, and even did not survive cancer. You start to think about what if? And I went through that process, you guys, and it was really mind blowing to me to sit there and talk to my doctor about that. And I couldn't believe it. So I just kind of stayed calm, and she scheduled my mammogram for August the 22nd. And so I went August 22nd for that mammogram. And they did a 3D mammogram. And so they said, well, while you're here, we're going to do an ultrasound. I guess an ultrasound actually allows you to see it closer. So they did an ultrasound, and then they did an ultrasound of my lymph nodes because they could tell that they were swollen as well. So, you know, they did, you know, find something there. And, you know, they told my husband, pulled him out of the waiting room. They asked me if I had anybody there with me. And I guess they didn't want to share the news with me without my husband being there or somebody being there with me. But that was the most nerve-wracking experience to go through, you know, and with that, you know, as my husband came into the room, my doctor at that moment for the mammogram, she said, you know, there are 2 spots on your left breast, and there are some evidence that there's something going on in your lymph nodes. And I said, well, is it cancer? She said, I can't conclusively say it until you have a biopsy. And she said, but based on my experience, my years of experience, what I see, it does look like cancer. And so I said, oh my God. I said, we're leaving tomorrow for Aruba. I said, you know, it's going to be my 50th birthday on the 24th. And so she says, you know, go ahead and go on the trip. Enjoy yourself. Try not to think about it. And come back. When you come back, you can schedule your biopsy. So we flew out that next morning and we went on, you know, and my husband and I, we had this conversation that we weren't gonna, you know, dwell on believing that it was cancer. We were just gonna go have a good time, not even talk about it, and we didn't. So we went on, we got there, we started, you know, hanging out at the pool, the beach. It was so relaxing. And, you know, of course, with that in the forefront of your mind, you thinking, oh my God, cancer, it could be cancer. So then I said, no, there's some good stuff right here. God is already blessing me with. And I said, you know, I just left our conference, $500,000. You know, we're building our business, you know. I was writing my book. I released my book on my birthday, all these great things. And I'll just kind of backtrack because God spoke to me as I was thinking about my second topic of my book. God spoke to me and said, you're the overcomer. Jesus. So that's the subtopic of the book that I wrote, Discover the Incredible in You. Well, I believe that God set me up for this because He's making me eat the words that I said in that book. Everything that I said, He's making me live up to the words that I said in that book. So as we went on and concluded with the vacation, I came back. We actually left that weekend, and that's when I got the Lifetime Achievement Award but we had already scheduled the biopsy for the 7th of September. So we did that, and we went, had the biopsy, and they said it would take about 3 to 4 days. So in doing that, you know, of course, that waiting game is just really trying, you guys. But as I went on through, I still was building my business. I missed probably, I remember Lenika and Greg calling a leadership meeting. We had to let them know we couldn't come. And I guess they were like, what in the world is going on with them? They can't be here, you know. And we're typically people that show up. And we show up for everything. And, you know, we had to go from one appointment to the next. After that, you know, the 7th, the 11th is when they called me and said, you know, conclusively, you do have breast cancer. And at that moment, you guys, it was just one of the hardest things that I could ever hear in my life, because I never imagined. I've always served and helped other people through difficult ordeals, but I never imagined.
Lord Jesus.
Going through what I have gone through. But I know that everything that has happened to me through this process, because it's a long story, I can't share everything tonight. But the things that I've gone through the process, God has made me that much stronger. Even through the process, I learned about a lot of different people. I learned about people that were in my corner.
Wow.
And people that were not. And you know, they call seasons for a reason. You know, there are people that are going to be in your life for a season. Season is limited. Lifetime is for a lifetime. So, you know, in dealing with adversity and overcoming the things that I had to go through with my body, the hardest thing was not to be able to work my business the way that I wanted to. I love to work this business. I love. I could deal with the pain. I could deal with not being able to walk. I could deal with not putting on my clothes, but not being able to do the things that I love is the hardest thing that I have had to overcome. So even through the midst of everything, every week, I still service customers. I don't care how much pain I was in. I couldn't even use the computer the way that I wanted to because my hands were hurt so bad. I remember having some new people join the business and I couldn't even make a banner because my hands hurt. But you got to learn how to leverage other people. And, you know, I reached out to Crystal Flowers. Thank God. I hope you listening, Crystal, because I thank you. See, God puts anchors in our lives. He puts good anchors in our lives, and he puts anchors in our lives that we have to cut loose. So Crystal made banners for me, you guys, but if you only knew half the things that I had to go through that process to overcome and still work my business. But with the support of my amazing team, people that stepped up, like Chandra Jones-Williams and Cheryl Colcliffe and Hannah Hughes, doing different things, keeping the group alive where I couldn't do those things without having to be able to rest and things like that. And Tanya and Dexter leading the way and making sure the team had what they need, and Greg and Lenika stepping in and doing what they needed to do to help the team. We have to be prepared for these times in our lives. So I hope that those that are listening, I often do this. When I wake up in the morning, I thank God for waking up. I thank God for my husband, and I thank God for my yes to TLC. But because of that, you guys, and the people that are around me, we were able to get through this. with the support of others. But say if I didn't say yes, if you work in a corporate job, you know they're only going to give you 4 months. 4 months. And then they're going to say, well, we're going to have to let you go. But if you want to come back, you can come back, but you're not guaranteed to get the same job or the same pay. So I want you to really take this seriously, because you have to learn how to overcome anything that happens in your life. Without a struggle, there's not a win. You got to have some struggles in life. And you got to be willing to get up even when you don't feel like it. Do I feel like most of the times here lately doing what I'm doing? Half the time I don't, but I do it anyway. Do people call me and say, go sit your butt down? Absolutely. But I don't, because see, I know I draw my strength from every post that I see out there. When I see people celebrating to, like Mandy Williams, you know, retailing over $8,000 last week. I mean, amazing. You know, when you see things like people traveling to other countries and the things that they have to go through to build their business, how they're overcoming. See, adversity comes in different forms, and we just have to learn how to get up anyway. And my faith grew stronger through the process. And God showed me that this wasn't for me. I had to go through the process. I was going to be all right. I was going to become cancer-free. I just had to go through the process to help other people. And a lot of times we'll go through different things and we think, what in the world? Woe is me? Why me? And that's the first thing we ask. But see, God always puts the right soldiers in place to go to war. And you got to be ready to get on the battlefield and fight. And so I could go on and on, Lenika, and I'm sure you want to kind of add in, but I just want to share with everybody that this process was not the easiest for me. And even to go through now 6 weeks of radiation every single day, driving 50 minutes to Chapel Hill there and back. So, you know, we're talking about an hour and 40 minutes of driving my husband does to get me to a treatment once a day for 6 weeks. And then I'll go on through the end of the year, every 3 weeks, getting chemotherapy. So it's just making me that much stronger. And it's making me see that there's so many other things that are happening out there in the world. But I'm going to tell you what prepared me the most was my personal growth and development. That mindset is everything. And what you feed your mind is what it becomes. I just get emotional when it comes down to that early part of my journey, because it was so hard on me to adapt, not to work my business, not to be able to work it at the rate that I wanted to work it. And sometimes God slows us down to listen so that he can prepare us for our final destination. So I know that he's preparing something big, and I'm ready to really grab hold of everything that he has for me to do and serve other people. Amen. So I'll give it back to you, Lenika.
Well, thank you so much for sharing just a part of it. You know, as Dr. Kimberly was saying, you know, we definitely wouldn't be able to hear it in its entirety. There's a lot that happened. But one thing I do want to ask the women, both of the women tonight, is for them to offer just a few words of some things that, you know, that they did. And I know that faith was definitely a part of they was able to draw strength because of their faith. But I do want to leave the audience tonight with just a few things that they can do. Maybe they are not in a place right now, but it could happen, you know, a few months from now, maybe, you know, a year from now. And, you know, they may find themselves in a storm, and then they would say, well, you know what? I remember when, you know, Bonita said this, or Kim said this. So I want you all to share, you know, whoever want to go first, just a couple of things that, as you look back, and I know, Dr. Kim, you're still going through your process, but especially in those early parts of it, and I know that faith such an intricate part of. But as you look back, you said, I am so glad that I did X, Y, and Z, because I know that that was one of the things that helped get me through those moments. Can you share that?
Yeah. So one of the things that I did, of course, you said faith, but family is a very important factor. You've got to, and family is not blood either. Okay. It could be blood, but family is very important. It's who you surround yourself with. Because you want people that are positive, that are encouraging, that are not going to be negative, that are not going to, pick the plug of where it's going to make you emotional, but they're going to build you up through the process. You need people that are strong-willed and that are going to, support you and ground you, family. The last part is friends. They're friends that, I call all of these anchors. Family and friends are anchors. They're positive anchors that literally will support you and guide you and be there for you, whether it's mentally or whether it's physically, to take you somewhere or come by and see you or talk with you 5 minutes or send you a text message or, those kind of things. And as I think about faith, family, and friends, I think about God's greatest commandment is love. And for me, what helped me through the process, and I hope that if you know somebody that's going through, if you know anyone, a card to somebody or a personal note or a text message. I've got this love board and it's full of cards, messages from people. And I literally go back every day and I pray over those cards. But I also go back and I read those cards because some of the words that individuals sent really were very meaningful and heartfelt. And for me, the love, I internalized that to help me heal through the process. And with family, of course, you want that love from your family and support. You need that love, and friends as well. But I would say also, I really took time out to read the Bible, and I took time out to read different motivational books so that I continue to stretch my mind and grow and trust and believe and really believe that I'm healed, because a lot of times the flesh can kick in when you're not feeling good. When I was sitting up there getting my chemotherapy done and being infused, and I'm like, my God, I'm looking at all these people around me. And as my hair started to fall out, I'm like, oh my God, I'm losing my hair. But through it all, when I'm reading these great positive words of encouragement and also, the Bible, it's allowing me to stay grounded. It's allowing me to stay positive. And I would get up also and just affirmations are key. I am healthy. I'm healed.
Yes.
I am loved.
Yes.
And I had to learn how to cut some people go to. So, you have to learn how to forgive, and you have to cut them loose sometimes too when you're going through different things, because you don't want any kind of stinking thinking around you. When you want to heal, you want positive energy flow. And I've heard several people share this. I know Benita has, and I know Dexter has said this too. Energy is everything, and everything is energy. And how you surround yourself with people is so important. That energy flow is very important for your healing. So as if I was talking on the phone with someone and they started talking negative, then I would just say, I have to go. I got to get off this phone. So you guys have to learn how to cut those conversations short. Just feed your body with a lot of love, a lot of great positive energy, and make sure that you have somebody that you can be vulnerable with, because we are not perfect. You may see us on social media. We are not perfect. And I don't portray myself to be perfect. I have many vulnerable nights where I would not even cry in front of my children. I would go upstairs, get ready for bed, and wait for Darnell to come, and then I let loose. So you got to have somebody that you can be vulnerable with, but that person that you're vulnerable with can build you back up to believe that you will overcome, that you will get out of this situation, those kind of things. So that's what I would like to share with the audience tonight.
Thank you. And before I bring Bonita up, I want to add where I saw this posted last night, and it was actually from Stanisha Grant, one of our very own, that was on the Women's Summit. It says that you cannot heal in the same environment where you got sick. And a lot of times for growth, you know, elevated growth to even go to another level, we have to make sure that the environment, if we find it to be toxic, the connections, we have to really be that much more intentional about protecting our environment and protecting our space. And it even aligns to one of the things that Dr. Kimberly stated. You may not be going through a physical illness. You may not be going through betrayal, right? But it is still so very important for us to discern or even to evaluate when we do need to, okay, shift our focus, move away, protect our space. Okay, I need to disconnect, right? While we're building a business, because it can make a difference in how we feel and even how we grow. Again, thank you so much, Dr. Kimberly. Bonita, I definitely want to hear from you again, as you can help them with some information as you look back on some of the very trying things that you've experienced while here even building a business that was able to get you up, pull you out. And I know that your faith definitely, but anything else that they may be able to take with them and just hide, you know, just in that place.
There's so many things that I can share, and I was actually like trying to write down some key ones. There's nothing wrong with venting. There's nothing wrong with it. I definitely say vent to people that are not your yes man. And when I say yes man, where they're going to agree with everything that you say.
Yeah.
Sometimes I like to talk, to be honest with you. And sometimes for me to get through my emotions, I have to talk it out. And there's many times that I've even called you, Lenika, and Greg as well, and also even you, Dr. Kim, and you know, just reaching out to people that, you know, because sometimes we feel that if we're talking to a friend and you're venting, you want that person to be against that person just as well as you are, you know. Yeah. And there are many times that I was so hurt where when I was venting, I never forget, Shantae Lloyd had said to me that, you know what, Benita, you on your way to the next level, because me and my husband been through the same thing. Lenika, I'll never forget, you said to me, Benita, you're on your way to a whole nother level because we've been through the same thing. Jesus. And when you think about everyone that's successful, most of them been through the same thing. And it has helped me get past it, because I said, well, this destination I'm going to, I must be going the right direction, you know, because many people have been through the same thing. So it kind of helped me get past it, just knowing other people been through it as well. And also, like you said, Dr. Kim, getting closer to God. You know, sometimes you have to take those moments out. And I really started to get closer to God. I started to, you know, read my word a lot more. I started strengthening my mind with, you know, scriptures, because sometimes the enemy, he comes to kill, steal, and destroy. And I mean, he comes to kill, destroy your mind many times. Right. He messes with you a lot. So me just getting into my word a lot, me telling myself every day, like you said, Dr. Kim, affirmations. But one of my favorite affirmations that I said to myself is that I am strong.
Yes.
Because at that time in my life, you know, because I'm a very, I love people. And so when I felt like I was betrayed and I knew that I would never do that to anyone, it hurt me. I mean, it hurt me to the core. So I remember telling myself, I'm strong. My mind is strong. Mm-hmm. Even if you don't even feel that you're strong at that moment, you may be, you know, you may be crying. You may feel that you at your weakest point. I don't know what you're going through, you know, with any situation. If you could just keep telling yourself that you're strong, I truly believe that it feeds your body. It's like you're feeding yourself, but you're feeding yourself mentally, you know? So I would tell myself, I am strong. My thoughts are strong. My beliefs are strong. You know, I would say my mind is strong. So I would just keep saying those things that I didn't feel like I would say that I was. So that's just some of the things that I've done. You know, also surrounding yourself and getting yourself out of the house, because I truly know that, you know, many times when you're going through things, the first thing that you want to do is that you want to isolate yourself from everyone. Yeah. You want to just go into your room and shut the door and put the covers over your head. Mm-hmm. You know, that's the first thing that you want to do. But we are leaders. We're leading an army. You know, so if we're going to be in the front, then we have to continue to get up and we have to continue to do what you were doing. You know, we have to continue to, you know, be around people, because when you are alone, that's when your mind starts to mess with you. You know, that's when you start getting those crazy thoughts about yourself. I mean, at one time I thought that I wasn't strong enough for this. I thought that I wasn't meant for this. I thought I was a one-hit wonder. Like, I thought that I was going to make 1 million total life changes and that was it. I thought my time was up. I thought that no one else would follow me. I didn't think that I was worthy enough for anyone, you know, to even listen to me. I said, how could that happen to Benita? Well, maybe I'm not meant for this. But that's the devil talking to you, you know? So just talking to Lenika and talking to people who have been through it, because I'm telling you something, anyone who has started from the bottom and now they're here, or anyone who had to build a strong organization or build their business from the bottom, they had to go through some adversity. They had to. So there's nothing wrong with speaking to people who have done it before, because they want to let you know, they want to tell you, I've been through that. This is what I did. And take the instructions and get through it too. Take the instructions, and whatever they tell you to do, they may tell you, listen to this, and I need you to read this scripture, whatever. Then if you're going to listen, I always tell people, listen. And that's what I had to do. I had to listen, and I had to, you know, I had to open up my ears and listen, because there was a time that I felt like I didn't want to listen to nobody and I wanted to be alone. So, you know, just knowing that you are strong and that you can get through it, to me, is the most important. It's the most important thing.
Well, we are almost at the top of the hour tonight. You've heard from these incredible leaders. You know, if I can leave a word of encouragement, but before I close it out, Dr. Kim, was there anything pressing upon your heart to share before we close?
No, not really, Lenika, but just basically, you know, we all are going to be faced with different obstacles in life. We just have to learn to get up, fight, and just keep getting back up again. You know, it's kind of like riding a bicycle. Learning how to ride a bicycle. You'll fall down and you got to get right back up again. It might hurt. You might get scuffed up a little bit along the way, but you still got to get up. And, you know, I think the struggle makes you that much stronger. And just recognize that pain is your friend. You know, pain is what strengthens you. You know, it allows you to dig deep within yourself and really become a better person. And I believe that through my process that I certainly have become a better person. And it's allowed me to truly understand my purpose in life. And just, you know, don't make excuses. I'm not saying kill yourself if you're not feeling well or something like that, but just make the effort to get up and do something that's going to make a difference. Because as I think about one last thing, as I watched Twyla when she lost her husband and how strong she was. I mean, I think he died in March, and then we had an event in April in Raleigh, and she came to that event. And I think about her strength through that process. And so my thing for the audience tonight is, when you look at people, I want you to be able to say, even to yourself, when you go through stuff, you want people to look at you and say, she did it, he did it, I can do it too. And so I do it for everybody, you know, to get through all of this. So I want you to know that you're stronger than you think you are. And I think Whitney Houston had this song, I didn't even know my own strength. And, you know, you really don't know your own strength until you really dig deep down inside of yourself and allow it to come out. So that's it, Lenika.
Thank you so much, ladies. I want to thank you so much for sharing tonight. And, you know, I want to leave with a couple of quotes. One of the quotes that, you know, came to me with the time when, you know, and tonight is not about me. I've been through a lot of different pain, but it was during a very painful time in my husband's life. And it was, don't let your down place define you. In other words, you're bigger than your down place. You're bigger than your down place. You're bigger than the wilderness moment. You're bigger than the attacks. You are bigger than the blows. You're bigger than the sickness. You're bigger than the pain. You're bigger than the betrayal. You're bigger than the storms that will come and rage against you. And then another thing that I wanted to leave with you, and this is something that I saw on my Facebook page today. I was scrolling and I said, wow, you know, sometimes, you know, God will put things on your heart and you type it up and you put a picture on it, but it goes so much deeper than that. And it's, don't let your past dictate who you are, but let it be a part of who you will become.
Wow.
So it's talk about pain and challenges and storms. Let us all be reminded that our focus can always be shifted into thinking higher. How am I going to let this allow me to be a bigger person, a better person? This didn't come to destroy me, but it came so that I could be greater. And it also came that I may be able to help pull someone else out during their time of struggle, pain, and also adversity. But give others hope. If they went through it, then so can I. So I want to thank each and every one of you who have been a part of this incredible Women's Summit. I am going to go back and call out every woman's name. Now, I pretty much have been doing it by heart, but just to make sure that I don't forget anybody. On the first night, we have before us Miss Twyla Portis, Miss Tanya Jorna Scott. The second night, we had before us Miss Janella Simpson and Miss Pamela Davis. The third night, we had before us Miss Denisha Graham and Miss Candace Bird Davis. The fourth night, which was last night, we had before us Miss Denise Lee and Miss Portia Wilkins. And then on tonight, you heard from them, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Manita McLean and Miss Dr. Kimberly Edwards. I was the host. God had me to put this event together. Ironically so, we did it while I was in the mountains. We're in the mountains enjoying our family spring break. The Scotts, right, enjoying this time together. But I tell you, even as I think back to why you knew the time, because we had initially scheduled it for last week, but things didn't happen the way that I had anticipated them to happen. We said, let's move it. But I even believe this was so prophetic, because while we've been here, there has been such a peace. And one of the things that God showed me today, and I'm going to share it with each and every one of you, because I do believe that when God speaks, it is not just for one person. Many of the times it's for other people. And this word I heard, and that word was transcend. And I'm going to read to you the definition. It means to rise above or go beyond the limits of, to triumph over all of the negative or even restrictive aspects, to overcome. It means to be prior to, beyond, or above. Transcend is a word that dropped in my spirit today. Amazing how it is so fitting for tonight. I also want to thank our technical support team that stood by our side through the midst of this summit. Oh my God. There has been people that have been reaching out, asking about even the website that was developed in such a short period of time. That's why you never burn bridges. I reached out to my girl, Nicole Cooper. I said, look, we need some help. I don't even feel like doing, one of those do it yourself. I want to hire an expert and she sent me to Miss Erica McMillan, who did an incredible job, her and her team and her staff, and Miss Marshada, who also has been by our side every single night. I want to say this before I close, because I am a woman of God and I love to do things in excellence. If you didn't hear this on Monday or Tuesday, I'm going to say it again before we go off the air. But on Monday night, we were ready. We were set. In fact, we were here. We had everything pulled up. We were on time with our scheduled time of meeting, which was 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, meaning we were 30 minutes early before the start of the air to live. And as soon as I hit the start broadcast button, my Wi-Fi went out. So now we're here in the mountains trying to access Wi-Fi hotspots, and nothing would work. But I do believe that it was just an attack for what was to be released, because you all have heard from each incredible leader that shared. And my God, the level of wisdom that came from this summit was just absolutely incredible. So I just wanted to share that. I am a woman of excellence, and I try to operate as best as I know how, given what I have, my abilities to do it. Again, Erica, thanks so very much, even for your excellence. Like I said before, we're going to be working together, and I will be sending people your way. Thanks again, Bonita and Dr. Kim. Love you all so much.
Love you too.
Stop broadcast button. I want you all to say goodbye to our audience tonight. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.